It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches?
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean.
For what he has, he says that for what he has, he says that for what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a lot in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this shit.
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you. I'm pretending like I didn't.
Yeah, well. Gotta get a piece of my
Hey, where are the white women at?
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously. Can you?
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling. It's cool enough just being cool. It's cool enough just being cool.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
First you tell us that it is manly to keep your word. All right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all that the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well then, show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well then, stick to your word. And let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you. And if that's what you're afraid of us, then tell us that just what you're afraid of. But don't keep hiding it from us and holding this up to us, and every time we ask you for something, you give us a little bit of something, and it's all tokenism. We don't want tokenism. And there are most black men in this world that don't want charity. And yet still every time we ask you for something, you give us a little piece, a little piece. You're playing games with us. We're not children. We're big men. I've seen my father have to put up with all kinds of stuff. He was a big man. He raised a family. He went down south, and he had to go around to the back door with his wife. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for any favors. All we want is what's ours. Now, there are many black veterans who are coming back, and they're mad. They're angry. Do you think that they're going to sit down through this? Our fathers didn't have the knowledge that we had. They sat through it. But there are other black youth that are not going to sit through it. We know about Che. We know about Fanon. We've read the books of our revolution. We've listened to Mao and his quotations. We know where we stand. We're not going to sit for it. We're asking, and if we ask and we don't get, we're prepared to stand up and take it. If I ask a man, I tell a man I am hungry. I tell him I am cold. And I ask him to do something about my condition. And this man holds a loaf of bread right in front of me so I can see it, and I keep asking him, I'm begging him to please give me a slice of the loaf of bread. I am hungry. Then it is known by every psychologist that the next step in the progression is I am going to knock him upside the head and take the bread from him. I'm not going to starve to death.
Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them are psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama. And you
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Oh, me nigga. Don't know me want it. Nigga. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line.
Oh, that's his daddy.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Come with baggage, just not Louis Vuitton.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
I like that.
Bitch niggas, hoe niggas, rich niggas, broke bitch. I told niggas this was on here, right here.
I think we OD. I think we OD.
My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard.
You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah. That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you
Like I said, you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice and pulls up in the dip. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice and pulls up in the dip. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out.
Nigga. I hit.
Slapping folks is satisfying. She don't like me, but I didn't know. Guess it was underlying. Slapping.
To the east. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio. All right, cut myself off. Sorry about that. Oh, let me welcome the party people that are up in this motherfucker. What's happening, Dr. Sinister?
Got to have vision.
Stay clean because I got to be seen. There you go. Jamar 3224, what's happening?
Got to have vision.
Dr. Sinister, what's happening?
Got to have vision.
All right, I'm going to get right into it before I get into my scores. Now, it's funny, like when you look at what deflection is, and I'm about to show you some deflection. There's some truth in this, but it's also a lot of deflection. So I'm going back to the, this is the press conference of the Lynx. And of course, the coach is going to rip into the referees. Let her tell it.
Incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been.
All right, this is the main culprit that threw the game, is her. Look at her expression. She don't even want to look up because they both know they threw it, but she had a bigger part of throwing it. She was the stooge they picked to throw the game, as I pointed out. She made the critical plays that threw the game away, and you can look at her face and see that she threw it away, but she knows eventually she'll be rewarded. You know, they're the winningest franchise, and she'll be rewarded, but let's go.
Reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which we, you know, it's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the 3 people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because that decided the game. That decided the game.
Again, let's look at her face. She had less to do with it. She didn't have any critical turnovers. She did. Now, not to let her off the hook, she had a chance for a clear layup, and she stopped and jump stopped and got her shot blocked when she should have went up with it. I pointed that out last week or Sunday. She could have went up for a layup, shot a runner, but instead she jumped shots and wait for the girl to block her shot. But she had the biggest role in throwing the game was her. And you can look at all in her face, the guilty. This is deflection. And you can tell she don't want to answer questions.
Next question standing to your right.
Cheryl, forgive me for changing the subject.
So that's all I was going to give them is just that little bit. Just that little bit of deflection. But that was totally deflection. Totally deflection. And blaming the refs instead of blaming themselves, instead of not talking about what about her turnovers? What about her turnovers that lost the game? That's what I want to hear about. What about her turnovers? I'm going to play a little bit of this. So I think that I like this brother, and I'm going to play a little bit of this brother.
Do you want to see how much money you're eligible for?
No, we don't.
If you were in a car crash,
we don't want to see how much money.
Years,
but there's a couple points this brother's about to make. So I'm going to play his shit.
The truth is, insurance companies make the claim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. I hope I'll be able to say everything that I want to say clearly. This might be rather long. First, let me begin by saying that I have the belief that, generally speaking, what has always been, always will be. What a people have always been, they always will be. There may be periods of time where they diverge from that, but that's an aberration, and they will inevitably return to the character and conduct of their past. The only way this changes is on the individual level. And if enough individuals in a society, in a qawm, in a group of people, if enough individuals change, then the society can change and the nature and the character of the people can change. But the change being made on the individual level must be caused by divine intervention. So yes, in my opinion, the only thing that can or has ever changed what a people have always been is Islam. And I don't think this way out of nowhere. I think it out of observation and study. So, for example, when I look at the West, I don't see any change or evolution from what they've always been. In fact, I see a striking continuity in their present with their past. Recently, I watched the Viking movie, The Northman. I'm not really interested in Vikings, but this film is about the myth upon which Shakespeare based Hamlet. So I was curious. I've also noticed from being online that there is a kind of emergent interest in the Vikings, as evidenced by the fact that this film was produced in the first place. I mean, the online manosphere, red pillars, white nationalists, all of these groups sort of overlap in their interest in and admiration for the Vikings. Manly white men doing manly things. Now, of course, this is a dramatic film. It's not a documentary. But historians and scholars of European history have said that it presents the most accurate portrayal thus far in cinema of the Vikings and Viking society and Viking life and Viking beliefs. So if that is the case, if that is truly accurate, if that is a truly accurate portrayal, then I can say that the Vikings were grotesquely savage people. I mean, there's a scene in the film that's a Viking raid on a village, and it's brutal and gruesome and barbaric. And I couldn't help but juxtapose that scene in my mind with the conduct of the Muslim armies at that same moment in history, and from even earlier, when the Muslim armies were always preceded by emissaries offering treaties, offering peace agreements when they were armies who followed strict rules of combat, strict rules of war, armies whom their own enemies described them as being knights by day, meaning on the battlefield, and monks by night, meaning they prayed all night. And they said that the Muslim armies never take anything unlawfully, they never enter a place without a greeting of salam, but that they destroy utterly anyone who fights them. These were armies, these were soldiers, whom, when their enemies watched them, we have reports of when the enemies watched them, they thought, wallahi, that they were some sort of new breed of elevated human beings, more like malaika, more like angels than men. So obviously, when watching the savagery and bestial behavior of the Vikings as depicted in that film, which apparently is accurate, I couldn't help but contrast it with the refined civilization of the Muslims at that exact same moment in history. And in fact, it made me think about what I have talked about many times on this channel, the fact that Western civilization isn't a civilization because they never civilized. I do not see any significant evolution in the West from its ancient pagan history through Christianity. Significant evolution in the West from its ancient pagan history made me think about what I have talked about many times on this channel, the fact that Western civilization isn't a civilization because they never civilized. I do not see any significant evolution in the West from its ancient pagan history through Christianity and through the Enlightenment up until this moment. I mean, tell me the evolution that has allegedly taken place in Western society.
Now we have to agree. These people, these imbecile psychopaths, is never civilized. And when we look at Jim Crow South and all the murders, we definitely got to agree. El Dragon Amaroon Khan, thank you for joining.
Got to have vision.
The Finesse, thank you for joining.
Got to have vision.
Joey, thank you for joining.
Got to have vision.
What'd you say? Basketball games are won and lost on the free throw lines and layups. Sure they are. Sure they are. I had to get that brother in. Let's see. That ain't. I'm looking for more. Let me see if this other shit I wanted to show is available. I hope it is, but I know how to look it up if it's not. If it's not available, I can still look. All right, this ain't gonna take long. Like if you look at one of my thumbnails and you see the dude who lived to be 230 years old. The first video I'm gonna show is a man reportedly between 300 and 400 years old. All right. And then the second video I'm going to show, it shows a little, it'll tell the story. So this man right here is supposedly 300 years old. It says 399 years old. And this is one of his grandchildren. Ears still growing. Man is almost 400 years old. Now, is it a hell to live that long? You know, are you locked into the body? Or is it good to live this long? All right. So I wanted to show that. Still can eat. And I think I talked a long time ago. They have a guy. Let's see, will it put me back to where I was? Or will I have to find it again? Yeah, I'm at to find it again. There was a guy I talked about where the guy lived in a cave. He's been in a cave 400 or 500 years, and all they do is stick a bowl of rice in that cave once or twice a year. And that guy's been in the cave, and apparently he's not really dead. He's still alive. Okay, I'm gonna let this play. And so, let's see, is the music some bullshit? Yeah, the music's some bullshit. All All right, average man lives to be 71. Average woman needs 76. Jew from Japan, 111. 112 from Germany. 113 from England. Puerto Rico, 115. From Japan, we got 116. From Japan again, 118. From the United States, 119. France, 122. Pakistan, 130. Brazil, 130. Azerbaijan, 132. Georgia, 132. I don't know if that's Georgia the country or America. Brazil, 133. That's Georgia the country. Pakistan, 135. South Africa, 135. China, 135. United Kingdom, 137. Turkey, 138. India, 148. 139. Azerbaijan, 140. Pakistan, 142. Azerbaijan, this is where the yogurt is, 143. Malaysia, 144. Saudi Arabia, 146. Indonesia, now I saw this guy, this good dude. I saw this dude. They was showing him smoking opium. He's smoking opium. I saw him before. Nigeria, 151. Azerbaijan, 152. United Kingdom, 152. Oman, 153. Saudi Arabia, 154. Ethiopia, 162. Now check this out. This man lived I'm 63. This man lived, my 63 plus another 100 years. This dude lived 102 years, after getting my age. All right. $168. Now Taliban, Colombia, 168. Nigeria, 170. India, 184. India, 180. Sister lived almost 200 years. Look at this. This sister lived almost 200 years in America. And she lived during the time of bad food. She lived during the time of bad food, but she almost lived 200 years. She was born before slavery was over. She lived through slavery. She lived through Jim Crow. Matter of fact, when slavery was, the Civil War was, she was almost middle-aged. By 1860, this chick was middle-aged and still lived another 100 years plus. Now it's getting crazy. Look at 194 from Nigeria. India, 600. This man lived 650 years. He was born in 1740 and didn't die till recently. Till recently. You dig me? He was able to live. Now, is this a prison sentence? 650 years. He just died recently. So his records is probably there. Look at this cat. 256 years. This is the cat I think that I have. Yeah, this is the guy that I have on my thumbnail, is this guy. He lived 256 years. He outlived something like 30, 40 wives. So he was born just slightly after Columbus came to America and didn't die till 1933. Look at that, 256 years. So this cat lived 250 years. I'm sorry. He only lived 250 years. I'm sorry. Okay, this brother in Cambodia, born before Columbus came here. Well, born slightly when Cortez came here. He lived to be 440 years. Now, is that a death sentence? Imagine what life was like when he first was born, and then he lived into the modern world. Can you imagine this? Imagine what life was like then. And like his first 100 years was 16. His first 100 years was 1651. You know how backward things were? His first 200 years in 1751, things were still pretty backwards. And he lived his 300th year, it was still pretty backwards in 1851. We got a dude in the United States that lived 615 years. He was born in 1261. Now, this is kind of suspect. Where was he born? It says United States, but obviously he's not American Indian. He's a European. So this one is suspect. This is suspect. He's born somewhere else, but he must have died in America. So this one we don't know. And this is the longest known person. This man was born in the 11th century, not long after Muhammad was alive, and died in pretty modern times, died in 1859. You know, can you imagine? He almost lived in the Stone Age and lived to be 700. I mean, he was born in the 11th century. You know how backwards things were? And again, he lived to pictures, telegraph. Those were still very modern things. Light bulbs that he lived to 673 years. Now, I mean, another way to look at it is just the death sentence. You know, do we really want to live that long? You know, do we really want to live that long? Because this is like these two cats almost were immortal. You would almost say to live these two cats. Actually, if we go to the last 300, 400, 600 years, they're almost immortals. You know, they are almost immortal. So, what did Martin Luther King say? Every man wants mortality. Everybody wants immortality. I don't fear any man. You think these people fear death? Especially that first year. You think they fear death? They definitely don't fear death. Get the fuck out of here, death. Or is it, is it a type of curse? You know, it's another way to look at it. Is it a type of curse? Is it a mark on us? You know, do you want to live that long? And I think the answer to most people is let me out. Don't hold me in. Because I remember seeing the dude who was in Indonesia and he's smoking fucking opium. 100 and some years old smoking opium. And he looked like a prisoner in his body. So I don't know if everybody wants to be, live forever. Well, the highlights we had, my Timberwolves got taken down last night by LeBron. Oh, let me burn some shit up and get some good energy going in here. Before I continue, let me burn some wood. Clear these energies out. I get a little anxious and just want to chop some days. There we go. Keep the corruption out from around me, and so I'm just spreading good vibes. That's all. All right. I had my sleep study to see if I need a CPAP machine or not. So I was up in the hospital from 8 o'clock to about 10. I went to sleep right at the fourth quarter. So I watched most of the game. I watched the first game. You probably got to remind me who played the first game, but I watched that first game mostly at home. And I missed when I went on the road. But when I got to the hospital, LeBron and them was playing the Timberwolves, and it looked like the Timberwolves wasn't really trying. And as I said before, Bronny is going to be fine. He is going to be fine. He practices with them pros every day. You dig? And that makes you better practicing. And he's going to be involved in the games. Right now, his job ain't really his job is to learn and follow the script instead of dominating. There'll be a time he'll get to dominate. There'll be a time where he'll get to take over. Again, he's only, what, 6'2", 6'3", so... but he if you noticed, he played good defense. He stays with most people. He's a good rebounder. He has good defensive instincts, so he'll be fine in that. And it's just a matter, offense is just a matter of confidence. You know, that's all offense is. It's just a matter of confidence, which I'm sure he will get. So, and did y'all see Corey Holcomb on Cam Newton? Corey said if a woman has a BBL, she has mental illness. BBLs have mental illness. I'm friends with a chick, and I've seen her pictures when she had her. And this is no shade on women, but what is it these women, as they get older, they become more righteous? You was freaks when you was young, but all of a sudden you get righteous. This chick had probably children at 17, 18. And all of a sudden she's like, you know, she's spiritual, which I can understand. People do get spiritual as they get older. But she's spiritual, but she got a big fake ass and she got big fake boobs. And like she takes sideways pictures and you can see the fakeness in her ass where it comes from. Attractive girl, but it's just like that BBL shit is kind of played out. I think people like more natural. Now he didn't say fake boobs. He said fake butts. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Let me see if what I was looking for is one more thing that I was looking for. I'm sorry. Gosh, I thought I got a lot of sleep last night. Yeah, I love it. And I slept on one of them comfort beds where you can make it hard. I like hard beds. I like it totally dark and the bed hard the motherfucker. I could damn near sleep on a board. I like it. I like the bed so hard. So man, a sad story here. And I won't show pictures, but a 3-year-old boy shot himself here yesterday. Well, probably shot himself Tuesday. Yeah, because we're Wednesday going to so Tuesday, we had a 3-year-old boy shot himself. The babysitter's man had left his gun out. Like how don't you, like more than likely, you know what I'm guessing? Because from what they said, the man loved the child. The babysitter, he interacted with the child, loved the child, but he just left the gun out. And you know what he more than likely did? He was probably smoking a blunt and playing a video game. Now, I hate to stereotype young dudes, but that's what it seemed like to me, that a 3-year-old would grab a gun. That would distract a young man from taking care and watching. Like I make sure my safe is closed and everything is put up. When I leave my house, now my daughter's not the type, like when my 22-year-old was little, he the type to go through my shit. Like if he would find my knives and shit and then he'd put them back, but he would find them and play with them while I was gone. But the guns was always put up. Gun locks, before I had safes, I had gun locks on them, had the keys, and that's just responsible. So that's more than likely what happened. Dude was playing a video game, smoking a blunt, not paying attention that he had left his gun out, and the 3-year-old killed himself. So very tragic story. The mother's heartbreaking. Like the mother said, why is the gun around him? And the guy will probably go in for a type of manslaughter because he is responsible, the man and the woman. And that goes to show, like how social economics will show who watch your children sometimes. I mean, I was lucky. I got to watch my daughter her first 2 years, and then her mother, and I'll tell the business, her mother put her with a person that did kind of mentally and physically a little bit abuse her, especially mentally. Told my daughter she was the worst child that she had ever had. And I kept telling my daughter's mother, quit taking her over there. It was a point where my daughter felt she was too old to go over there. This chick was like, I don't want her at your house because you guys don't do anything to sit around. I'm like, but I'm a dad. And now she talks about she's the greatest when she stopped taking her over there. And they live right next door to each other and they hate each other. And I tried to tell her how fake the lady was years ago. When we got our house and the lady helped us move in, you could see the steam coming out the lady, because European people tend to think that they don't be jealous of each other. She's like, oh, they're not jealous of her. I'm like, wait a minute. Of all your friends right now, everybody goes to her house. She sees our house. We can hold more people. So she's definitely jealous. Oh, she's not jealous. And so now they can't stand each other. But that just shows you what I saw, I saw almost 7, 8 years ago. She's now just seen. And I told her the same shit years ago. So that's how, but getting back into how people social economically, like daycare centers are expensive. Now, from where these people live, they lived in the hood in Minneapolis, which is North Minneapolis or parts of the South Side. And that's where most of the lower working class, I ain't gonna say lower class, working class. And so she found a neighbor that only charged so much that might have even been watching more children, because she probably couldn't afford the local daycare. Certified people. Hell, we had a daycare, to check this out, we had a daycare here where somebody in the daycare had dropped some crack. One of the workers, one of the parents, and they found a bag of crack in the daycare. So somebody came in there and dropped their crack when they dropped off their child, or one of the workers, I don't know. I prefer a natural woman. Yeah, Cam Newton wasn't ready. I agree. He wasn't. But Cam just got that job with ESPN, so he was kind of on the fence a little bit with things. He's a little more defensive. He was in more of attack mode of ESPN before he got hired by ESPN. Now he got hired by ESPN. He was kind of, a little laid back, And then Brown, I like the way, he came as Stephen A. Smith talking about he ain't gonna tell people who said that, that people don't like him, he don't get along. You know what they said about Brown in his draft records? He was too smart to be in the league because of his education. Them Jewish faith people that run the NBA, they don't like smart people. They like people that's gonna be swayed by BBLs, gonna pay plenty of child support. That's the kind of people they like because they're easier to control. They don't like smart people that's gonna save their money, have a positive platform when they get done. They like stooges. I mean, look at the people they allow. What did Perkins? You telling me you get rid of RG3, who was the best dressed in all of television, and you keep a big goof, a duh. Perkins is the dude I call a duh. What's up, Perkins? Duh. Like, it's a group of Ibis. I think his name is Ibis. One of them is Stephen A. Smith. One of them is Sharp. And one of them is Perkins. And, it's like he got Perkins like he ain't got no neck, big doofus. He's a doofus, a duh. Hey, Perk, duh. Start talking, duh. And I'm not trying to bring down another brother. No jealousy, but I'm just saying that's how he always came off to me. But yet, you fire RG3 on his day off, but you keep somebody like Perkins. Make that make sense. RG3 was clearly the best dressed on television, bar none. When he did his games, his shit was ready. And look at the people they got now. Nowhere near as sharp as RG3. So, but gave Perkins an extension. Everybody's congratulating him, and they know he don't deserve it, but hey, he's a stooge, and he don't say any controversy. And that's kind of what they looking for. He kind of knows his lane, which is cool. That's positive that he knows his lane, but I don't know. Not a very handsome brother, but again, not threatening. Big, but not threatening. And that's what they like, big. And you notice in ESPN, none of the brothers, the big fat brothers, the dude that played for the Patriots, played to LSU. Again, big but not threatening. Their personalities ain't threatening. Even when they have debates, they're not threatening like brothers. They big softies, if you really look at them. Where Michael Irvin is always, just like Stephen A. Smith. They yelling at each other. He knows how to, his way of faking it is yelling at each other. So it's interesting how they just part of the system and play the script. that is kind of interesting. But that's what we have, y'all. And that's, the personalities that we watch. And I don't watch any of the talking heads. I used to watch it to monitor the shit. I said, I don't even watch TV until probably 5, 6 o'clock. A lot of times I'll catch the end of the business day because, the East Coast, the stock exchange, I think closes at my time, 4 o'clock my time. Yeah, I think 4 o'clock the stock exchange. So sometimes I will catch that. But for the most part, now I watch the phone, but I don't really watch TV, until sports comes on 6 or 7. So, yeah. So I catch a little bit of the stocks. Now I don't know what's going on in the morbid news, but I wonder, let me see, what is gold doing today? Okay, what's the dollar doing? The dollar to the Chinese, is this yen? $1, 7.1, is that would be yen? Look at this. They want more vacation. Now see, this is what, if you would have went to France, the euro, your dollar is only worth 92 cents. You see that? So if you went over to the Olympics and it went down, it was like in the beginning of the summer, this had gained, but look at it now. Look at it now, 92.8 down here, they rounded it off. Great Britain is even worse. It's only worth, if you go to England, it's even worse. It's only 77 cents. See this? If you go to Britain, your dollar is only worth 77 cents. But this is what's strange, because Britain and Canada are the same, but if you go to Canada, it's $1.38. Make that make sense. And you go to Japan, maybe they got the yen, $1.52. So a lot of spending power in Japan. Where's Australia? Even more in Australia. No, it's about equal. $1.50 in Australia. So let me see if I can find gold. Where is gold? Finger. Dear. Because I didn't really check gold earlier. Let's see. All right, where is it at? Here we go. As I've been telling y'all, if you own gold chains, gold rings, it's going to be 3,000 an ounce. And an ounce of gold is 31 grams, 31 ounces. It's 31 grams. So 31 grams equals 1 ounce. And it's on its way to 3,000. So, this is, if you can buy some coins, it is well worth it to jump on this bandwagon, because the coins are only going to go up in value. As you see, they're not, as this dollar is dropping around the world. Now, again, everybody sold today. The NASDAQ is down 92 points. The Dow was 96 points, or you see the Dow dropped percentage of 96, and you see the NASDAQ. So everybody sold today. You see all this, everybody's selling, but not the gold. Look at the gold. The gold has went up $12. It went up 44%. Now is silver in here. Let's see, silver. No, I don't. Usually silver's up here too. Nope, I don't see it. Let's see if I can get more. Nope, that's cash. Let's see, silver in here. Oh, and Bitcoin is up to 67,000 per coin. You've got Ethereum that is at 2,500. If you get Amazon stock, it's down 2%. So I don't see silver. I don't see silver. Gold, compare. Nope, don't see silver. That's all right. So all I can do is show it. It's up to you if you want to invest or not. But at least buy some jewelry. It's going to be worth more. It costs more too. Jewelry costs more. No doubt jewelry costs more. So it is up to y'all. In the morbid news, I don't know who this chick is. Let's see. Broadway star Mimi Hines dies. So nobody would know what a Broadway star is. And so, how much of a sacrifice would this chick be? Let's see. Ford. Maybe we'll check this out. We'll learn more about Mimi Hines because this name doesn't really ring a bell to me. So this is who she was. Broadway star Mimi Hines dies. And they probably don't tell. Look at that brooch. All them diamonds. That's nice. Very nice. Announced the Canadian actress had passed away the previous day in her home. Natural causes. So she was 91. So just old and died. Born in Vancouver, started performing at an early age, but her career took off after she started collaborating with her comedian husband, Ford. Okay, that's all he was called was Ford? He was called Ford. Ford Hines? I hope, or I think it's just Ford. As always, the blah, 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 blah. She later, many production, including Anything Goes. So she was on Johnny Carson somewhere in here. When did I see that? She performed The Tonight Show, Till There Was You with her husband, succeeding Barbara Streisand on My Fair Lady, okay, in 65. And then she's a good actress, blah, blah, blah. Ford and Hines and Ford divorced in 72. Although the pair worked together professionally several years after, he died in 05. So it sounded like he was quite a bit. So what kind of sacrifice she is for her fame? Not much. That's the way you want, you want to be a star that you wasn't quite a great star, but you had a good life. So when they took you out, it wasn't that big a deal. Oh, now this guy in the morbid news, little more mainstream. Alan Sachs, co-writer of Welcome Back, Carter, dies at 81. Who teamed up with stand-up comedian fellow Brooklyn Gabe Kaplan. And I don't know if you guys know, he was the teacher on Welcome Back, Carter. Popular 70s ABC show. He died, he was 81. He died of complications from pneumonia while on a visit there. Okay, so he went traveling and died. He was first diagnosed, he lived 24 years with it. Wow, 24 years with it. But spent several years in remission before it returned. After a project involving LA band The Runaways never got off the ground, Sachs took the footage and incorporated it into a plot about a director working on a tight deadline to finish a movie starring Runaway member Joan Jett. Resulting film Do Beo, which he also helmed, which means he ran it, was set against the background of the hardcore LA punk scene and featured Ray Sharkey and Def Scratch of the punk band Fear. He also wrote producing the skateboarding field Thrashing. I don't know, maybe y'all know some of that. He did some projects for the Disney Channel. His students at James nicknamed the Sweat Hogs. So his students at James Buchanan High nicknamed the Sweat Hogs included Vinnie Barbarino, John Travolta, Freddie Boom Boom Washington, Lauren Hilton Jacob, who played in Cooley High, Juan Epstein, and Arnold Hoshak. It lasted 4 seasons. He was born in Brooklyn. Doesn't sound like a very exciting life. Oh, he was a producer and production executive on Chico and the Man, Freddie Prinze. Chico and the Man was nothing but a copy of Red Fox, Sanford and Son. It was they put a Mexican cat and a European cat together to be like Red Fox. So, and that's what made Freddie Prinze, who was a comedian. So yeah, that was the morbid news. Yes, that's right. Fernando Valenzuela, which I would have thought was older than me. He sure did. He passed. I think it was Tuesday he passed. Yeah. Yeah, he passed. Now, he's definitely a sacrifice for the Dodgers. I did not realize this cat was my age. I thought he was much older than me. I didn't realize that we were the same age. Here we go. I did not. So this is definitely a sacrifice for the Dodgers. Does this mean the Dodgers going to win? It might be. He was a pretty decent star, but I did not realize this cat. I thought he was older than me. So when he 81, he was 19 or 20, which I did not realize. Ignited the craze and boosted interest in the team among the regional Mexican-American fan base. He later worked for the team's Spanish language broadcaster. I did not know this cat was my age. I did not know this. Passed away at 63. Are they telling how one of the most beloved figures, responsible for bringing an entire demographic to the Dodgers, died Tuesday. He had been hospitalized for the past few weeks with health problems. His families preferred to keep quiet. So again, they never tell what they die of. This is a crushing blow, even though I knew it was really, really bad shape. Retired broadcaster said, who served as interpreter during the Mexican left handler's first year in the major leagues as his broadcast partner. He's very special to me and Dodgers fan. President, I am so glad he retired. His number is well deserved. Hate to compare him to Jackie. It was groundbreaking. His death comes as prepare for the World Series. Again, you can tell it's a sacrifice. He was born in a small town in Navarro, Mexico, the youngest of 12. He was discovered by legendary scout Ben Burrito when he was 17, 16, 17, 78. Yeah, well, 17, 18. Because 79 we graduated. Burrito was a scouting mission in Guadalajara and evaluated shortstop on the team. Venezuelos came to relief and struck the player out. I forgot all about the shortstops, he said. The Dodgers signed him in 79, a year later, brought him to the majors a year later, so he's only in the minors. Wow. Just after 30 games in the minors, he was 2-0 and didn't give it up earned run in 70 innings. Wow. In 80, he was up. Breakout came in 81 and he was pressed in duty as the Dodgers opening day starter with Jerry Rice had to be scratched with an injury. The way he got that first start, he had to just thrown his side session the day before. But when they asked him to come in, he's like, sure, I can take the ball. He's just a baseball player through and through. He threw a complete game shutout his first time, and a mania was born. He started the season 8-0 with 8 complete games, 5 the shutouts. A stout figure, his distinctive wide up with his eyes going up. Yeah, that's what people know. He would look up in the air before he'd go to home plate. Mix featuring Screwball. His youth, he had turned 21. He hadn't even turned 21 his first season. Small town background made him sensation. The Hispanic community in Los Angeles never embraced Dodgers as they unceremoniously took over Chavez Ravine to build Dodger Stadium. Yeah, I've got that book about when they took over this ravine. It's a pretty good book. I got to find it. He meant so much. You see how he's looking up? That's what he's known for right there, looking up in the air before he came to the plate. And he's, as you can see, a left-hand pitcher. So he was a 20-year-old rookie, 35 inning scoreless streak, all-star starter. So he's an all-star. He won the Cy Young that year, and he was Rookie of the Year, and he won a World Series title. With all that brass, you knew he was going to end up being sacrificed. And while they're in for the World Series, again, all that success, they do determine when you're going to die. So he went 3-1 in the postseason as they beat the Yankees in the World Series. He galvanized the fan base in 81, and he pitched 11th season with the Dodgers, making the All-Star team in 6 consecutive years. In his final season with the Dodgers, he summoned the Magic one more time, pitching a no-hitter in 1990. See, yeah, you knew they was going to get him. So did he finish with anybody else? Bounced. Okay, so it says he bounced around for 7 more seasons with 4 different teams, including the Angels, working his way through a minor leagues before joining the Angels. Wow, they put him down. Wow. He started a rehab game. 1,000 showed up. He finished his career with 173 and 153. Wow, he lost a lot of games, including 141 wins as a Dodger. He lost a lot of games. But so, yes, so that is definitely a Dodger sacrifice, and that's how we see it. Yep. Yeah, he pitched. Definitely. I agree, Jamar. Definitely a sacrifice for the Dodgers. No doubt about that. No doubt that he was a Dodger sacrifice. So, that's how we always see it coming. Sports. That's the bad thing about when you play sports. That and being a Hollywood star, that you don't get to determine when you die. They, and that's where the gematria people come in, and it shows that when it's their time, they take them out. They take them out. They take them out. Now, who is this? So I don't know what kind of sacrifice. This is more the morbid news, but this is British Olympian and former world's strongest man dies at 75. Three-time Olympian and former world's strongest man Jeff Capes has died at 75. Capes, in Great Britain's greatest shot put ever, still holds the record for the longest throw when he set in 1980 at the distance of 20.6 meters. Away from the athletics, he was a crowned world's strongest man on 2 occasions, taking an 83 and becoming a 2-time champion 2 years later. In a statement, family said that Jeffrey would like to announce his sad passing, Britain's finest shot putter and twice world's strongest man. The Lincolnshire represented Great Britain in 3 Olympics, but he failed to win a medal. His best finish coming in Moscow when he finished 5th. So he's only a good British Olympian. He wasn't a good world Olympian. He traveled to Russia as a big medal hope, so he was later admitted his performance in Moscow left him numbled with disappointment. While he went out without Olympic medal, he won 2 Commonwealth golds and 2 European indoor titles. He was also a 6-time world champion at the Highland Games. He was a household name and TV figure in the 80s, often showing his incredible strength, and appeared on shows following his retirement from competition. So again, they don't tell how he died. And that's what they do. They don't tell you how they died. All you know is they was sacrificed. And why, we never heard of him. Why you showing him? And I think I said this before, is Jay-Z. I don't think Jay-Z's in any trouble. The NFL re-signed Jay-Z. I think I said this Sunday night. They re-signed him, so he's going to continue doing the Super Bowls, and they've done their due diligence, and that man is not in any trouble. So it looks like Puffy's going to take it all. Take that. The Take That man is going to take it. So I thought these was the Kareems. Here's Fernando. What is this? Skipping NBA opener. Magic flexes 1.2 billion business with lavish soiree. So Magic gave a party in the NBA season. Is that what he did? Fans didn't need to wait too long about whereabouts of the legend, as the former point guard himself later revealed. He had Instagram posted he hosted an exclusive gathering he dubbed Champion Soiree. Wow. And that's one thing that Winning Time, they showed him being into sex magic. He probably was, Dr. Bus was probably a type of wizard, and Magic was with it. And that's why they show, if you see that first episode where Magic goes to LA, Magic is definitely, he into sex magic. They kind of show it a little bit. So you see that he was with it. And, for all his fame and gain, he had to sacrifice his oldest son. He had to lie about having HIV. He had to lie about that. So he was embarrassed. And again, what do I always say? It's better to be embarrassed than them to kill you. So it's better than be embarrassed than be killed. And that's what Magic took. But they said it ain't just enough. We got to have that firstborn too. And as I've said many times, and I don't even know how this came to me, but I saw a reality. I had a vision of seeing his son play ball in a different reality, and he was Jordan-like. Because that boy is 6'7". And I mean, it's just so interesting because he was kind of chubby. So he's more of a taller Charles Barkley, but had the ball handling skills like his dad. And I mean, really could go to the hoop, better outside shooter. But I mean, and I don't know why this came to me, but it did. And it was just interesting watching him play. I got to watch him play in the vision. I actually got to watch him play, and he was putting that work in. His determination was great, like his dad's. But in this reality, you see what they did to him. They were shooting that boy up with stuff when he was a little boy. They were shooting him up with stuff. So, but again, that was the price of fame. Instead of, again, it's better to be shamed than to be killed. So Magic wore that HIV thing. And did y'all see this pitiful thing? I'll say this. Before I show this, I'm going to say this. I didn't think Trump would win the first time, but a couple days before, Hillary had Beyonce and Jay-Z in a concert on stage. And I thought, wow. I was like, wait a minute. It seemed like a desperation move bringing them in. And this right here, I see the same thing. This seems like a desperate move right here. This seems like a very desperate move. Now, people are already tired of Obama, especially preaching to brothers, but this looks desperate. Bringing him in looks like a really desperate move. I wanted to see the picture of him and Obama, but I guess they're not showing it. But this seems like desperation to bring him in, especially it was a black event to bring him in. Isn't that some shit? They bring him into a melanated event. But this seems desperate. This seems like there's some consideration they might not win to bring him in. That's what it reminds me of. Seeing Beyonce and Jay-Z on stage. It reminds me of that. So maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like they're desperate. That seems like a very desperate move. Oh, okay. I didn't know about this cat. I guess if you're into hard rock metal, former Iron Maiden frontman Paul Di'Anno, age 66. The record label confirmed that he died at his home in Salisbury. Iron Maiden, I ain't never heard none of their music. Despite him being troubled by severe health in recent years, as you can see, he's pretty sick. You know, you can see he was a pretty sick man. I don't know which one is him. I can't tell which one is him. But anyway, let's see. Oh, there's the picture of Obama and him. You see that? Where's Obama at? This seems like a move of desperation. Just thank you, Internet. Just when I was talking about it, him and Obama standing together seems like a very desperate move. Very desperate move. But Iron Maiden, original singer, 66, was known for his powerful vocals and played a key role. Key role what? Where'd it go? Played a key role. Oh, here we go. Played a key role and shaping the bands early through his contributions. Let's I wonder which one he is. I guess it's him. Iron Maiden to 2 albums, Iron Maiden and Killers. The band tributed him on Instagram, photo of him, early sound through contributions to his first 2 albums. The band paid tribute to him on Instagram by sharing a photo of him with founding member and bassist Steve Harris. This picture, I imagine. Maybe Steve Harris is dead too. We are deeply saddened to learn the passing of Paul Di'Anno. Paul's contribution to Iron Maiden helped with founding members and bassist Steve Harris. We're all deeply saddened to learn the passing of him. Paul's contribution was immense and helped set up the path that we had been traveling the band for almost 5 decades. In his last interview with YouTube Live, mentioned that he had been something. His influence on heavy metal music and his contribution to Iron Maiden rise to fame has been widely recognized. Never heard of this fucker, so. Never heard from him at all. I guess maybe that is him. Oh, he tried to be on his own after he left Iron Maiden in 81 and collaborated with artists like The Killers and Battle Zone. Okay, this must be him before he lost his hair. So, okay. Not sure what that sacrifice is, but again, like I said, it's when it's your time, you have nothing to do for it. Oh, and Abid is being investigated for him not playing, him being arrested. He's being investigated. And right here, the NBA is likely to commence an investigation into the Philadelphia 76ers surrounding the player participation of NBA center Joel Embiid. I saw this earlier. The report comes ahead of Philadelphia's opening game tonight. Embiid, who had been ruled out in Philadelphia's first 3 games, reportedly recovering from a knee injury. So a player who's historically prone to injury and listed concurrently injured and sitting out a game, and the NBA responds by launching an investigation. Why? Because he's probably fake. And the NBA be cracking down on load management that is benching essential healthy players, but they let Popovich do it with Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, so they can remain in good condition for the rest of the season. Low managed most common when teams playing in easier matchups, which they wouldn't necessarily need whoever they are benching. It isn't a problem, becomes a problem when it starts to affect the game itself, which extends to the success of a team, the satisfaction of the fans. That's the key, is fans looking forward to seeing the stars. But they didn't stop Popovich for doing it. That was the one who invented it. Pop wouldn't play his Tim Duncan. So extends success of teams they could be playing. In fact, notes that part of the player participation policy is that the league can review superstars never miss a nationally televised game, and that game was nationally televised. Sat out the majority of 23 season, playing only 40 games. Remember, he scored, what did he score? 70 points in one of the games he played. But they are, they are looking into him. So not surprised at all. Oh, and they tried to bring Dr. Fauci here in town, and they protested. They did a protest of Dr. Fauci. Tarzan, they did a big protest here and arrested a bunch of people because they were protesting Fauci being on campus. Tarzan actor Ron Ely dies at 86. Yeah, I wouldn't know him. He would have been not Johnny Weissmuller, black and white Tarzan, but a later Tarzan. So, not sure what he would be, but a lot of people wouldn't even know him. He wasn't a very popular Tarzan. So, yeah, a lot of people wouldn't know him. Oh, she died. Oldest living American, Houston's lives is Elizabeth Francis, has died at 115. 115. I don't know if y'all ever saw the one old dude that was, he lived to 112. When they had he was 112 and he was married to a lady that was 80. His woman was 80. He was 112. So, and one thing he did, he smoked 3 or 4 cigars a day and still drove past 100. Now, he couldn't walk very well because when he had a lot of walking, he put him in a wheelchair. When I met my wife, the party I met my wife at, it was a guy there, my mother's friend. Her father was a World War II vet. He was at the party, and he was like 101, 102. And I said, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, I was like, okay, nice to meet you. I didn't understand. Plus, he had sauced a little bit, too. He had a couple beers under his belt, so I didn't know what the fuck he said, but he said something. And he got to, they bought him a brand new uniform. He threw out the first pitch for the Twins, and then he passed. He did pass. I don't know who this is, but this is a sister and fairly young. Let's see who this is. This is Alicia Henry, artist whose modest works ask about big questions about visibility at 58. Alicia Henry, who's the artist who speculated works elegant considered means to be seen, died on October 16th at 58. So she died a week ago. Mainly took the form of a spare muted installation like pieces that were hung to galley walls, mainly represented faces of bodies and body parts, and dealt with how celebrities are often unstable, left open to change, and frequently impossible to pin down altogether. She crafted figures from wood, leather, linen, cotton, and other materials, often hand-painted them in shades of brown and gray. You ain't gonna show her work? She stitched fabrics as well. She drew inspiration from West Africa masks, her own memories. She wanted to work to speak to concepts a recurring image on the work and human figure. There's isolation, interacting with others. Born in 66, received a BA from, she's my brother's age, from Art Institute Chicago, then studied the Skaugen of painting and sculpture, Skauhagen, before receiving MFA from Yale University. After graduating, she spent 2 years in Guyana and Peace Corps, then taught. That's ties. Peace Corps would definitely be ties to probably CIA. And then she worked at the Pine Ridge in South Carolina, the reservation. She was a professor at Fisk in the chair of school, arts and languages, called Henry. Henry's the bedrock of art. So they're not showing her art. Huh. Let's see, who else? So Lillian Schultz, computer art pioneer. She was 897. And then we got a Japanese photographer, Iko Hasin, died at 91. So that is the morbid news. So, I'm about to do my scores. So, whoops. Yeah, I'm going to do my scores. And okay, cool. I'm about to do my scores for the week. I go over them as, as I see fit with you guys. So Thursday night, we got the Rams and the Vikings. And I've kind of got a feeling that they're going to because think about this. They traded Goff for Stafford. Goff beat the Vikings. I would not be surprised if they let the Rams beat the Vikings. I'm going to stay with the Vikings, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won just because of that connection between Goff and Stafford. Eagles and the Bengals, I'm going to give it to the Eagles, even though they don't play. My Eagles have been sorry this year. Ravens and Browns, definitely Ravens, even though they're on the road. Falcons and Bucks. Bucks don't look bad. I'm going with the Bucks at home. We got the Cards and the Dolphins. And the Cards, they do not look good, but the Dolphins are still struggling, so I'm going to go to Cards. We got the Packers and Jags. I think the Packers will win on the road. We have the Titans and the Lions. I think the Lions win at home. We have the Jets and the Pats. I think the Jets break out of their losing streak. Colts and the Texans. I like the Texans at home. We have the Saints and the Chargers. I like the Chargers at home. Panthers and Broncos. I like the Broncos at home. We have the Bears and the Commanders. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm missing out. Okay, I got that. This one, let me down here. Broncos. Okay, I missed that. I missed the line. Did I catch it? Okay, Bills and Seahawks. I'm gonna go with the Bills on the road. So I got the Broncos beating the Panthers. Bears and the Commanders. I've got the Commanders winning at home. Raiders and Chiefs. I'm going to go Chiefs on the road. Then we got Cowboys and 49ers. 49ers have not been consistent, but neither have the Cowboys. I'm going to say Cowboys win on the road. And then we have Giants and Steelers. I say Steelers win at home. So I have the Vikings, Eagles, Ravens, Bears, Cards, Packers, Lions, Jets, Texans, Chargers, Bills. Yeah. Broncos, Commanders, Chiefs, Cowboys, and the Steelers. As I've said before, I am 68 and 36 for the year. 68 and 36 for the year. Jesus saves. What's happening?
Got to have vision.
So last week I end up 8-5. And so for the year, I'm 68 and 36. And so we're into week 8. Yeah. All right, so that's the main reason why I came in. I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about, but I have a surprise. I do have a surprise, so let me reach back and get it. And I wanted to, bring all the other ones out to show you the difference in the box. But as you can see, this is a pretty neat box, and this is Air Jordan 39s. And these are called Half Blue Midnight Navy. So half blue, midnight navy, blue and marine something nut. They kind of gave you more of a LeBron box. But I mean, really, I got one box of Jordans. I think it was because these are 39s. I think I got a box of what is it? 37s. They gave one of them. They said box made with what is it? Box made with recycled material. I mean, they just gave you the cheapest of the cheap. And so I've consistently bought probably the last 8 pair of real Jordans. And this is what I don't understand. Air Jordan 1s are some of the most uncomfortable shoes. I saw a dude do a breakdown. He said you can't wear them. Now everybody don't have bad feet. I understand that. But I still don't understand how those shoes cost as much as these. They're not made as well. Like almost, with exception of maybe the Jordan 37s, these are very well-made shoes. So the box is really, again, pretty quality box. It's got like a kind of a feel on it. Really, it's really cool. The paper even has 23 on it. I don't know if that shows up. You can see the 23s on the paper, which is kind of cool. That's a print of the paper. Now, one thing I've been noticing about Jordans, and I've been noticing about all Nikes, they seem to be running small. I pretty much wear, like all the shoes, all my new shoes now are pretty much 14s. I don't know what it is, but it's like I gotta wear 14s now. Oh. So this is, I love baby blue shoes. What's unique is I love the way it has the double where it's tucked in here. That's really cool. The blue on the toe. The clear sole is the bomb. Look at that, clear sole. And the kind of what LeBron started doing is they put this, this kind of, that's when they started putting that kind of a pattern on there. I would dare say this is not nubuck. This is dyed blue leather, very high quality. Look at the detail on the tongue. And they did give you a shoehorn or a shoe, whatever they're called, shoe trees, which they normally don't. But look at this padding in here. Look at that. Look at that padding. That is so cool. And, I'm going to put my inserts in here, of course. But, I mean, even without my inserts, I probably could walk around with these. But really cool. The leather is really great leather. This is more of a mesh. This is leather here. This is mesh. The tongue. Nice texture on the tongue. And then we got, of course, the Connie Hawkins or the Jordan. What is that? Oh, and then we got on the tongue, we got a little oriental scene. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's oriental scene. I ain't just now noticing that. Yeah, this is an oriental scene. So I guess that's what Marine Minot, I don't know. And one of the coolest things they did the box gave you this, which is pretty cool. Like I mentioned, 2 years ago, they went very cheap and gave you a recycle box. But now they give you this. So pretty much a collector's. No, you know how they put the blue, the green sticker in here. No green sticker. that I see. I don't see it on the top either. So I haven't wore these out the house yet. But they gonna go with a lot of shit I got. You can best believe. Trust and believe. But yeah, this is so. I don't think I'm getting those Jordan 12s. This is the 12s that's coming out in December. I don't think I'm getting those. The black ones I have, they're just not very well made. So I don't know. Didn't plan on getting those, but you know, I like baby blue stuff. So yeah. And so that's about all I had. I've been going an hour and 24. I guess I can babble for a little while longer. Kind of got a little bit. It was funny, like when I was in the sleep study. Oh wow. Okay, this is somebody else in the morbid news. Now, Emmanuelle was more than likely sex movies. Kristen Buzon dies. Emmanuelle, exterior night actress. Let's see. She's just a little older than me, who got her big break at 17 in Emmanuelle. She has died at 68 in Paris. She left school and was still a minor when cast her in the 74 erotic classic as sexually adventurous teenager Marie Ange, who introduced Emmanuelle to the shady, libertine figure of Mario. After being cast in a handful of smaller roles because she was stacked, she go back to school and study actor in prestigious conservatoire. On completing a 3-year course, she refused to take on roles with the principal consideration for casting her because she was thick. On the course, her 40-year career, she ratcheted up more than 50 film credits, including Michelangelo, Identification of a Woman, Daniel Smith, none of these movies I heard of. A New Life, blah, blah, blah. Built a body of theater appealing to production. She was in 7 theaters. In her personal life, hit the headlines after it was reported she had attempted to commit suicide by jumping from her 5th floor apartment. Damn! But had been prevented by the firefighters. See, the dates didn't match up, so they couldn't let her kill herself. Later in Celebrity Magazine that she had threatened to commit suicide during an argument with her partner at the time, but never intended to kill herself. She said it was a trick she had learned from her abusive mother when she was not proud of. So no pictures of her. I mean, why no pictures of her? And then this is the other Tarzan that died. So that Tarzan, again, they don't tell you how she died. They just tell you that she died, and she was only 66. But yeah, Emmanuelle was it was considered kind of soft porn, you know, like it would be regular now, but it was Emmanuelle because she played a bunch of different Emmanuels. It was the Emmanuelle, and it was a bunch of parts of it, but it was something that back in the day, it was Playboy After Dark, the Playboy Channel. And the Playboy Channel only came on because people complained that children could see it. So the Playboy Channel only came on like 8, 9 o'clock. And they would show people humping on each other. It was this soft porn. They show way more on regular TV now. But back then, the only way you could see it was on VH cassettes. Or if you had the Playboy Channel. And it was Playboy After Dark. And I think for a little while, Cinemax had Cinemax After Dark. I don't think HBO ever had something equal to that, but the Playboy Channel, and it was like funny that you could always hack the Playboy Channel, and it was pretty much just them humping on each other was about what it was. And this is some 80s shit, you know. It was like, I remember my first wife and I, we first got it. It's like we got to watching it, and you know how you're young, so we in our living room just getting busy, and then the door somebody knocks on the door. And so we put our clothes back on, and my best friend came. One of my best friends at the time, P-Funk, Perry Foggy, him and his girl, Beverly, at the time. And they sat there with us and watched the shit. And it was like, you know. So then they finally left, and then we got back into it watching that shit. And then somebody else knocked on the door. And they came and sat about an hour and smoked with me and drank. And it was like, damn, you know. And then they left finally. So we just kept getting interrupted. But she probably got big boobs. Let's see if I can find another picture of her. Oh. Let's see if I can find another picture of her. Here we go. What is it? BOISS. This ain't her. This ain't her. A lot of people use her name. Oh, this bitch ain't thick. She ain't thick at all. Yeah, it ain't even worth showing y'all when she was young. Yeah, it's not even worth showing y'all when she was young. She was not thick. Why are they talking about her body? She's a skinny little lady. Skinny little lady that would hump on folks. Yeah, her boobs are small. Everything about her's small. Yeah, there's nothing about her that's, I don't know, y'all. Let's see. I can find, where is it at? Let's see. I don't know if it's even worth showing this chick. Where am I? Okay. I don't even know if she ain't really about nothing. Oh, there it is. Oh, let me go back one. I saw it. Here we go. See if I can find this chick. Where's my search for them? Oh, where is the search? Ah, here we go. See, are they connected? Nope, my phone ain't connected with it. Y'all can see this chick ain't really too fine. I think this is her. This is not her. You guys lied. Damn. Oh, here we go. Let's bring it back up. Oh, here we go. All right, I told y'all this chick ain't really. She just be soft humping on people. This is her as a younger woman. See, she ain't. Oh, okay, got a little nipple showing. Okay, didn't expect that. I don't see any other pictures of her though. Usually when you look somebody up, a bunch of pictures come up, but this is all I could get was this one. So, and you see she wearing this because she plays a freak. She pretty much, Emmanuel is pretty much a freak. HBO had the show Real Sex. That's right. Yo, you remember her. Yeah, Emmanuel. It was a bunch of Emmanuels. Emmanuel does this. Emmanuel does that. So she got little bitty boobs, big old nipples. But yeah, you remember? Yeah, she's always dry humping somebody. But it doesn't look like there's any other pictures of her, which is interesting. Is this her? No. I don't see any other pictures of her at all. which is odd. Who's this? Yeah, no other pictures of her. Oh well. Ain't think very highly of her. Who is this? Who's this chick? I don't know. I don't know who that is. Bunch of Europeans. Saw one sister in here. Where's she at? Older sister. Beautiful sister. Can't resist her. Now where's the one at? Here. Malpeza Dawn. Think she's an older model. Don't remember about her. Let's look at this one. Check the Adam's apple. Check this Adam's apple. I think Pam is a Dan. I don't think Pam is a Dan. Halle Berry, Halle Berry. Yeah, they do not have any more. And like you have to look at some of these people like it's just unbelievably ugly. This chick is just too ugly. Like that chick is one ugly chick. Look, she was ugly when she was young. Look at this. Most people is kind of cute when they was young. She was ugly when she was young. Is this her too? Yeah, going to one eye. This is one ugly chick, boy. Now look, 1,000,000 pictures of this ugly chick. Of course, the famous Dorothy Dandridge. Million pictures of that ugly chick. That's this ugly chick too. No, this is what's her name? Yeah, Ashley Judge. But again, you know, the one eye. Ashley Judge from Kentucky. Denzel. All right. Well, I didn't really have much tonight. What is this? Vanessa Williams was a bad chick. This Sigourney Weaver, young Sigourney Weaver, had a nice body. I used to have a picture of Vanessa Williams. It was a big poster of her with handcuffs, boobs all out, ass all out on a little skimpy in that penthouse. Yeah, I used to have that poster of Vanessa Williams. Shit, Vanessa Williams is still bad. She is still bad. Check her out. She was bad. You see why they had to, God bless you, Miss Black America. She old the motherfucker now, though. She my age, but listen, Free the Pain. All that is gone, all that's left is a band of gold. She had one hit. She was a one-hit wonder, but she was cute. She was cute. Free the Pain, and she had a sister. Sherry Payne. Her sister was Sherry Payne. And of course, this is Thelma from Happy Days. Thelma can get it. More Vanessa. Look at young Vanessa. Man, young Vanessa. Vanessa was one of the prettiest women to be on TV. I heard a nigga say, Craig Fax said that the baddest chick on TV ever was the Cosby mother, Felicia Rashad. Felicia Rashad wasn't badder. She wasn't badder than Jane Kennedy. Now, Super Sly said there's a video of her getting fisted. I never saw that. I'm not really heavily into porn, but that's what Super Sly said, that there's a video out there of her getting fisted by somebody. So could be. I don't know. Because Vanessa Williams had the right stuff, baby. And this chick wasn't really, she wasn't really bad. She wasn't really bad. I mean, that's why she looks so bad now. She wasn't really super pretty. Not really. I mean, look at here. She's still young here. She ain't really pretty here. She average. She's just an average chick. And this is Beverly Johnson, right? You can tell she got the wig on, but I think this is Beverly Johnson. Average. One of the first black supermodels, but average, wearing the wig now. The right stuff, baby. And this is Banks with all the fake hair she got. Average looking chick without makeup. So this is, I think, Keisha Pullman. I think, yeah. Grown up. Little Rudy. And this is from Tatita Ali from The Fresh Prince. A lot of y'all might have grew up with her. Debbie Morgan. Debbie Morgan. I never thought Debbie Morgan was pretty. She's not pretty. And this is, she got the little bird lips. Obama's Michael got bird lips like her. She got like just a little bird look in here. I don't know. And every time I saw her, I thought she had a bird face, like Michael Obama or whatever Michael's last name is. This the one girl. I think she's from Detroit. She's older now. I think she's in her late 50s. Ali's daughter. Ah! Janet used to look cute till she fucked her face all up. But that's why they take all these pictures. It's supposed to be beauty, you know, and some of these ain't beauty. I really like, this ain't my type. So I either is Nia Long. I just don't think they're that pretty. I think she's kind of cute. Audrey McDonald. I don't know who she is, but she's kind of cute. Who is this? Veronica Royale. Oh, okay. From The Young and the Restless. She was cute. I thought she was cute. She played on The Young and the Restless for years. I thought she was cute. There's another. Is this the same picture? No, I think this is a different picture. She wasn't bad. I thought she was cute. Here's another picture of her. But when she was on The Young and the Restless, she was cute. And then Ray Dawn Chong. I thought Ray Dawn Chong was pretty. Tommy Chong's daughter. I thought she was pretty. I thought this chick was plain. This is Ray Dawn, how she looked now, older. Still pretty girl, I thought. I didn't think Sabrina was very cute. This chick from The Cosby Show. This is the comedian. She's funny though. When she's on I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and he says, I got something to tell you, and he pulls off his muscles or something. Then she says, I got something to tell you, and she pulls off the leg, and she's hopping on one leg. She pulls off her wig and her fake boobs. That was kind of a funny scene. Now, this is somebody that didn't age well. Man, her face is all beat up now. And I think she was just average even back then. So, but who am I? Well, as you see, I'm just mumbling and bumbling. I ain't really got a lot more to say. That was kind of my show. Games tomorrow. I might come on tomorrow night. Just depends on what we do. I know football game and 2 basketball games come on tomorrow. Oh, let me show this right quick. They say that Marilyn Monroe might have been a man. They say she might have been one of the first transgender actresses, or not the first, but one of the most popular. That's what a thing on her is, that she might have been a mon. But I guess they say beauty is in the eye. Now, this is kind of a cousin of my godmother's. This is my godmother's niece right here. This is my godmother's niece, Sally Richardson. My godmother's niece, my godmother's husband is her great uncle, would be her great uncle. So we've always pulled for her. You know, we've always pulled for her. And she's in her 50s now, I think. So we always pull for Sally. Yeah, this is kind of what she looks like now. You can kind of see it's leaving. That beauty be like with a woman. What's funny is when women, that age be hitting women. That is like, if they don't do all that stuff to her face. Now, one of my friends, I know she doesn't watch the show, but golly, she was older but pretty. I mean, even with the wrinkles, even with the bags under her eyes, she still had a natural prettiness. So I noticed that she looked different in her pictures, and then I studied close. She done took them bags out of her eyes. She done filled this shit in with Botox. And it really doesn't even look like the same person. And her birthday's next week. She's a Halloween baby. So she'll be 64. But it's like, and there's a sister I know. Now she's fucked up her hair, so her hair, she's always got wigs on, but she had a very pretty face, but no wrinkles. And this chick's got to be in her 50s. I have a girl that graduated with me, another girl that graduated with me. She's a sister, and again, no wrinkles. So you know she's shooting that shit in her face. And it's like I got teammates that wear wigs, you know, get a little wig put on there. And why is the wigs all boxy braids? That's the only kind of popular wig now is boxy braids. You know, the uncombed looking shit. That I don't get. Like niggas act like they don't want to be old. Like I ain't never dyed my beard. I think my dad started dyeing his beard and mustache when he was in his 30s or early 40s. I think he still dyes his mustache. I think he still does to this day. Not your boy though. That shit, I don't mind being old. Like the health problems, you know. But other than that, I don't mind being old. You know, I try to take care of myself as well as I can. Yesterday was a little hot, and so I wasn't able to get my full, was it yesterday? Or Tuesday, I only got in about 1.5 miles. Today I did 3 miles, and it was cooler, a lot cooler today. Tomorrow's gonna be cool, but still I should be able to get my walk in. I try to walk every day, but Saturday and Sunday. And so this is kind of what we're facing right now. It's 47 degrees. So later today it's going to be 62, but as you see after 6 p.m. It's going to rain all night. And we haven't had any rain. I mean, we haven't had rain for months. So we haven't had rain for months. And you know, it's like I'm gonna end with this. It's like our children do things, and all we can do is support them, especially when they get to be adults. I mean, they're gonna do things that piss us off. They're gonna make mistakes, but like, is it worth cutting your children off? You know, it's like I'll tell my own story. My stepfather and I did something that wasn't cool. And we've talked once in the last 35 years. We talked one time. And up to that point, you know, every Father's Day, when I moved back to Michigan in 85, every Father's Day, I had him over. I'd barbecue for him. And we were really cool. Now, he went through some emotional parts himself, but it was like, for what I did, he couldn't forgive me. And we've talked once. You know, I did something in 89, and we've talked one time since 1989. I think we talked around 2007 or 2008 was the last time. Now, my brother, and this is again, you know, my stepfather, my brother's father, but I don't know. It's like I feel that he lost on so much. And it's like even my own father hasn't ever visited me here, you know, and him and I went years where we didn't talk. We've talked, you know, we talked back in August, but, you know, we went for a long time where, you know, we didn't talk. And I just feel like, you know, people miss out. You know, he's missed out on my children here. And, you know, there's nothing you can, and now hopefully my daughter can be a little closer to him and my stepmother. But, you know, you miss out, I think. Like, you can be mad at me, but don't be mad at them. You know, don't stop reaching out to them. You know, don't take out, and that's what happens is, you know, they take out being mad at me on them. And then, you know, it's like, how can you turn your back on your own blood? Now, I can understand my stepfather, you know, but not my own father. It's like, how can you turn your back on your own blood? These people is related to you. Just like I was telling you about my son going to Boston and seeing my great uncle, his great uncle, with his name on there. That person is blood related to you. So you can go there and say, yeah, I am your nephew. I'm your 3 times great nephew. This is my blood right here. And that's kind of how it works. Where now, you know, my children, my 29-year-old son remembers my dad a little bit because we moved when he was in 7th grade, so he got to know my father a little bit. My 2 youngest sons, when we moved here, they were 4 and 5. So, they don't really remember them at all. And it's funny, the time I wanted them to meet my dad, they were over their uncle's house, their mother's brother, and he's a big weed head and they smell like weed. So it's like, no way I'm going to take them over there smelling like weed. It's just a respect thing, And they wasn't smoking weed, but their uncle was smoking weed and they smelled like weed. So, and I just think that, you miss out. Like, life is so short. That's what, like the thing with my son recently, it's like he doesn't, like, life is short and life is fast. And it's no guarantee. Like, we look at all these people that live forever. It's no guarantee how long you're going to live. So you might as well have fun and plenty of it. It's like I said before, when I see my plants, I love my plants. Give them love when I see them. I talk to them, I touch them, I water them. The same with my cats. When I pet my cats, every time I pet them, I want the feeling of this might be the last time I pet them. I don't want to just go through the motions of touching them. And I've said this before, but that's really, it's like I'm putting every intention when I pet you. I'm giving you my full attention and my intentions. And like, it's like even my wife's cats, they're used to me now because they know I ain't fucking with them. Some cats always be so jumpy, like, hey, that motherfucker's gonna fuck with me. I come in the room, the motherfuckers hear me, they like, he ain't fucking with me. If anything, he might scratch me on the head. And so often we don't cherish the moment. And that's what I really try to teach is like, cherish the moment. Each moment is beautiful. Regardless of what this is, matrix or whatever you want to call this, fake, real, cherish it. And that's what beats the fake. It's like, okay, especially, the connection with nature is the one thing that beats the fake. Because there's a lot of real in nature. And who's the people that's going around and says there's only male trees? All them pine cones out there means that tree is female. All the acorns it means it's female. The apple trees is female too, So I don't know who's getting out there. It's like they were saying, "Where's the moon?" Sensationalizing shit. We haven't seen the moon. Well, there's a time of month where you don't see the moon. I was looking at the moon this morning. When I was a child, it was never the sun and moon out at the same time, not even in the mornings. And this was 1 o'clock, and there's the moon. So, but say it appears like there's going to be tough times coming. Prepare yourself as much as you can. You can always have a little more water, a little more food. Probably it'd be helpful for you. You just saw the disasters that hit these other cities. You never know. For some reason, we're in a world, we have a government that really doesn't care about us. And that was what the brother I showed the video beginning. It's like they care more about money than our well-being. Like Fruit Loops being utterly poison. We thought that when they got rid of the red dye in the M&Ms, and remember the movie Peggy Sue Got Married, her sister must have died of cancer when she went back in time, she was about to tell her sister don't eat the red M&Ms because later her sister dies of cancer and then she stops herself, not wanting to, change time. But most of us probably thought that kind of dye was out of our foods when they took the red M&Ms off or put something else in it. But apparently, And so I bring up about Fruit Loops is Kellogg's in Battle Creek, Michigan. People did a big protest and telling Kellogg's, take all this shit out of our foods. I mean, I've said this before, with chips is you can't eat just one. That's real. The cigarette companies own almost all the food industry. So they put things in food like candy, chips, pretzels to make you just keep on eating them. They were like, well, we losing money on cigarettes, but we're going to put out this poisonous food and get you more addicted. You notice when you eat cookies, how you could just, and then you notice how you just want some sugar. My wife's mother, every night she's got to have, some pie or cake. My mother has a friend. She's the same way. Every time they go out to dinner, she's got to, and she's both are diabetic, and they both have to have some pie or cake. Now, my only sweet that I eat, if it ain't natural, is I eat 72% or I eat 85 plus of dark chocolate. So if it's 85 plus, 2 pieces is only 5 grams of sugar. That's it. So I really try to limit my intake on buying chips. But I don't eat cookies. I couldn't tell you the last time I ate a cookie. Muffins. A chocolate chip muffin has almost 36 grams of sugar. Look them up. When you get that muffin, it's almost 30 some grams of sugar, which is about a cup of sugar like this. I mean, if you break it down to forget the taste and look at how much sugar your system's getting, it's almost this much sugar. And so it's definitely a war against us. Our own government allows this against us. They poison us. They poison the air, poison the land. I've said before, that I read a report that they killed all the land in the 70s. That's where GMOs come from. They had to figure out something that would grow in this exhausted land, and they still had to figure out a way to keep the pest off it. So that's where they come with the GMOs. And they try to say, there's no nutrition. It's like regular corn has no nutrition, no nutritional value. Broccoli is not a real food. Carrots are not a real food. But yet, these are pushed as healthy foods. And we know the all the oils that were pushed on us, the canola oil and a vegetable oil. This is they were paid to show this. They were paid to tell you don't use butter. They were paid to tell you don't use as much salt. They paid these people so they could start pushing this other stuff. I can't believe it's not butter. All this vegetable oil. They told you don't use shortening. Don't use lard. And then you look back at all the people and how long the people are that use lard, use butter. I mean, they were still people that lived a, rather healthy life. And like what's so sad is like a lot of people my mother's age, my sports heroes, as you go back and study them, the amount of people that smoke cigarettes, athletes. I mean, that's something that I saw athletes smoke before, but most good athletes I had never, watched smoke before. Then I went to college. I had 3 or 4 teammates that smoked cigarettes. It seemed like when I went to North Carolina, everybody smoked, but I remember seeing my teammates smoke, get out of practice and go smoke a cigarette. It's like, really? Really? Now, everybody smoked weed. That was different. We know weed is not hard on you as cigarettes. So, well, I guess I'm going to call it. I'm just babbling. But I do appreciate when y'all come in and y'all watch. I do appreciate it. I always try to bring it, no matter if it's how many people watch. I still try to bring it. Let me give you a little, see if I can find this. Yeah. Oh, here it is. All right, according to the Mayan calendar, today is day 5. And day 5 would be Khan. No, let me see. Wasn't very prepared today, but it's kind of last minute. It's Khan. The way it's said in the Toltec, which is very similar, is Quioto or snake. Quioto. Now, in the Mayan, it is, I mean, the name is pretty much the same. Leave you guys with a divination. Yeah, right here. Now, in the Toltec, it is called Quioto or snake. And the general meaning is the dualistic understanding of the world is the core of the Toltec tradition and is present in almost every aspect of the culture. It is within this perspective that the snake reveals its most archetypical features. To the Toltec, the snake is not the enemy, but a necessary half of the sacred duality. Spirit matter is seen as a lower for companions with what is higher. Unlike the Judo-Christian representation of the snake as the evil we know we need to kill, and this is very much in line with Aztec, for the Toltec, the snake was either the material world or the side of our personality that we don't like because we believe in our wickedness. From this point of view, it is remarkable that the serpent could be the symbol of power at the same time the symbol of wickedness that needs to be transcended. This apparent contradiction is consistent with such a system of knowledge that often was built by the juxtaposition of contradictory truths, which is part of the Toltec culture. And in the Mayan cards, it is called the priest. The priest is the information spirit who initiates the dreamer into the meaning of life and explains its secrets according to the teacher of the ancients. He is the transmitter of tradition and traditional knowledge. Is also bound to society. He serves and is mentor. He must keep growing and changing. And for tomorrow, the ruler is Earth. The Venus is the ruler. The plants are mushroom and fungi, and the quality is feminine, day or the earth. The body would be your neck and moss agate. Let's see. Okay, and tomorrow, if you want to wear power color is called red orange. The value is hearing. And then the tone of the day is C sharp, D flat. Direction of energy that's going to help is southeast. And I'll leave with this. The fool finds himself possession of a great deal of understanding, having a certain clarity about his world and the world of others. What he has not seen is the power that he now has to manipulate and steer others to his desire. He now has clarity and he must overcome it. He sees and he understands and is only too keen to let others know the truth. The fool cannot hear. Hearing is beyond just listening, and the fool listens so that he may know, and when the other has stopped talking, and he may start. Hearing brings one to silence and union with the other. In that silence, the fool may hear the voice of the unknown. The priest presents the fool with a principle of living, a mysterious universe. It is simplified by the staff with the living leaf. The jaguar dress of the priest represents the fire aspects of a person. It is a symbol of energy and vitality that is detailed to the fool that it can be released for his use in the task he sets himself up. The priest is the bridge builder and the pontifex, the one who points the way but does not lead. The priest is the guru, the teacher, the scientist. He is the investigator and the holder of tradition. So as you kind of see, they both both go together, even though one is Toltec and one is Mayan. So, but and this is what he's talking about, holding the staff. See, even though they're called different things, you see the staff he holds. So it's a lot of the same. So orange yellow is the power color. If you're doing something serious, might not hurt to have a little orange and yellow on. So give that up because I give freely. And just wanted to give that little divination. So, hope it was helpful. Gotta make healthy mess. What did you say? Gotta make healthy ones at home. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, if you want to make some chocolate chip muffins, yeah, you can put less sugar in them for sure, and still put because remember, chocolate chips is semi-sweet. Who else did this when they were a child? I remember we used to go to grocery stores, and the chocolate chips were always some open. I mean, people like I'd go over there and get handfuls. I would leave my mother and go over to the chocolate chip aisle and get me some chocolate chips. I don't know if that happened to y'all but in the 60s, that seemed to be a thing where people would bust open the chocolate chips and you can go by and get a handful. And I even liked them back then. I've always liked dark chocolate, and they're semi-sweet. Chocolate chips say semi-sweet, but I always liked them. And that's why I think I like dark chocolate so much today, because I liked it as a boy. Because when you ate chocolate chips, they're semi-sweet. They're not milk chocolate. They're semi-sweet, real chips or dark chocolate. So, but that's all I had. I might come on tomorrow. Not sure. But between 12 and 12:30, check if you're interested in what I got to bring down. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your humble host. Oh, I got 2 hours in. Big Pontiac. And what I want to get this final word in. What is it? Here we go. And I'm just trying to be real compared to what? Trying to be real.